All right, hello, everybody. Hey, this is Daniel Higgins coming to you live. Thank you for hanging out today, tonight, this afternoon. Just depends on where you're at in this awesome world we live in. So listen, we're going to jump into some great content by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm excited to share this content with you. He's going to talk about your life's purpose through the blueprint of your life, right? Now, after that, I'm going to come right back in because there's this amazing book that I've been reading, The Testament of Hope, which has a few of his speeches, well, a lot of his speeches and writings. And I'm going to recap and tap into just a few of those very essential comments that he made that really ties into what's going on today within our world. So we want to share this content with you. What's going on, Miss Sylvia Clark? Hello. So let's get into this content right now with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And then we're going to talk more about some of the key quotes out of this excerpt along with out of that book, because we know that there's a whole lot of content that he shared over the years.
I want to ask you a question, and that is, what is in your life's blueprint? This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And whenever a building is constructed, you usually have an architect who draws a blueprint. And that blueprint serves as the pattern, as the guide, as the model for those who are to build the building. And a building is not well erected without a good, sound, and solid blueprint. Now, each of you is in the process of building the structure of your lives. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. And I want to suggest some of the things that should be in your life's blueprint. Number one in your life's blueprint should be a deep belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Now that means that you should not be ashamed of your color. You know, it's very unfortunate that in so many instances our society has placed a stigma on the Negro's color. And you know, there are some Negroes who are ashamed of themselves. But don't be ashamed of your color. Don't be ashamed of your biological features. Somehow you must be able to say in your own lives and really believe it, I am black but beautiful. And believe it in your heart. And therefore, you need not be lured into purchasing cosmetics advertised to make you lighter. Neither do you need to process your hair to make it appear straight. I have good hair, and it is as good as anybody else's hair in the world. And we've got to believe that. Now, in your life's blueprint, be sure that you have that a principle of somebodyness. Secondly, in your life's blueprint, you must have as a basic principle the determination to achieve excellence in your various fields of endeavor. You're going to be deciding as the days and the years unfold what you will do in life, what your life's work will be. And once you discover what it will be, set out to do it and to do it well. And I say to you, my young friends, that doors are opening to each of you. Doors of opportunity are opening to each of you that were not open to your mothers and to your fathers. And the great challenge facing you is to be ready to enter these doors as they open. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great essayist, said in a lecture back in 1871 that if a man can write a better book or preach a better sermon or make a better mousetrap than his neighbor, even if he builds his house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. That hadn't always been true, but it will become increasingly true. And so I would urge you to study hard, to burn the midnight oil. I would say to you, don't drop out of school, and I understand all of the sociological reasons why we often drop out of school. But I urge you, in spite of your economic plight, in spite of the situation that you are forced to live so often with intolerable conditions, stay in school. And when you discover what you're going to be in life, set out to do it as if God Almighty called you at this particular moment in history to do it. And just don't set out to do a good Negro job, but do a good job that anybody could do. Don't set out to be just a good Negro doctor, or a good Negro lawyer, or a good Negro school teacher, a good Negro preacher, a good Negro barber, a beautician, a good Negro skilled laborer. For if you set out to do that, you have already flunked your matriculation exam for entrance into the University of Integration. Set out to do a good job and do that job so well that the living, the dead, or the unborn couldn't do it any better. Falls your lot to be a street sweeper. Sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Leontine Price sings before the Metropolitan Opera. And sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the host of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley. But be the best little scrub on the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. For it isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are. We already have some noble examples of black men and black women who demonstrated to us that human nature cannot be cataloged. They in their own lives have walked through long and desolate nights of oppression, and yet they've risen up and plunged against cloud-filled nights of affliction, new and blazing stars of inspiration. And so from an old slave cabin of Virginia's hills, Booker T. Washington rose up to be one of America's great leaders. He lit a torch in Alabama, and darkness fled in that setting. Yes, you should know this because it's in your own city. From a poverty-stricken area of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Marion Anderson rose up to be the world's greatest contralto, so that a Toscanini could say that a voice like this comes only once in a century. And Sibelius of Finland could say, my roof is too low for such a voice, from the red hills of Gordon County, Georgia. And the arms of a mother who could neither read nor write, Roland Hayes rose up to be one of the world's great singers and carried his melodious voice into the palaces and mansions of kings and queens. From crippling circumstances, there came a George Washington Carver to carve for himself an imperishable niche in the annals of science. There was a star in the diplomatic sky. And then came Ralph Bunce, the grandson of a slave preacher. And he reached up and grabbed it and allowed it to shine in his life with all of its scintillating beauty. There was a star in the athletic sky. And then came Jackie Robinson in his day and Willie Mays in his day with their powerful bats and their calm spirits. Then came Jesse Owens with his fleet and dashing feet. Then came Joe Louis and Muhammad Ali with their educated fists. All of them came to tell us that we can be somebody, and to justify the conviction of the poet, fleecy locks and black complexion cannot forfeit nature's claim. Skin may differ, but affection dwells in black and white the same. And if I were so tall as to reach the pole, or to grasp the ocean at a span, I must be measured by my soul. The mind is the standard of the man. And finally, in your life's blueprint must be a commitment to the eternal principles of beauty, love, and justice. Don't allow anybody to pull you so low as to make you hate them. Don't allow anybody to cause you to lose your self-respect to the point that you do not struggle for justice. However young you are, you have a responsibility to seek to make your nation a better nation in which to live. You have a responsibility to seek to make life better for everybody. And so you must be involved in the struggle for freedom and justice. Now, in this struggle for freedom and justice, there are many constructive things that we all can do and that we all must do. And we must not give ourselves to those things which will not solve our problems. You've heard the word nonviolent and you've heard the word violent. I happen to believe in nonviolence. We struggle with this method with young people and adults alike all over the South, and we have won some significant victories, and we've got to struggle with it all over the North because the problems are as serious in the North as they are in the South. But I believe as we struggle with these problems, we've got to struggle with them with a method that can be militant, but at the same time does not destroy life or property. And so our slogan must not be burn, baby, burn. It must be build, baby, build. Organize, baby, organize. Yes, our slogan must be learn, baby, learn, so that we can earn, baby, earn. And with a powerful commitment, I believe that we can transform dark yesterdays of injustice into bright tomorrows of justice and humanity. Let us keep going toward the goal of selfhood, toward the realization of the dream of brotherhood, and toward the realization of the dream of understanding goodwill. Let nobody stop us. I close by quoting once more the man that the young lady quoted, that magnificent black bard who has now passed on, Langston Hughes. One day he wrote a poem entitled Mother to Son. And the mother didn't always have her grammar right, but she uttered words of great symbolic profundity. Well, son, I'll tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stad. It's had tacks in it, boards torn up, places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I's been a climbing on and reaching landings and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So, boy, don't you stop now. Don't you sit down on the steps 'cause you finds it's kind of hard. But I's still going, boy. I's still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Well, life for none of us has been a crystal stair, but we must keep moving. We must keep going. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but by all means, keep moving.
Woo, man, I'm not paused. I'm not frozen. Just taking that in again. My goodness. My goodness. Just so much good content. And for everybody who is new to Daniel's Den, this is a replay. That short clip is a replay of episode 8 of Daniel's Den, right? Now, there was some key things that he talked about, and I I want to urge everybody in the sound of my voice. I'm going to go over some key points here. I don't want this to be restricted or handcuffed to being a motivational, inspirational conversation. It's bigger than that is what I want to clearly explain. It is bigger than that. Let me go ahead and take this off here real quick. All right, so let me recap a few key points that really spoke to me, and then we're gonna chat a little bit about this amazing book. All right, we're gonna chat a little bit about this amazing book and how it ties in, because you know everything ties in. All right, and let me see what Miss Sylvia, because Sylvia is always on point. Oh yes, never get. Oh my gosh. And this book is chock full of them. All right. Shout out to Dr. Bess and Alex Bess. That's why I scooped up this book and I've been reading it. I haven't been sharing what I've been reading until today, tonight, this afternoon, right? So, whew. All right, let me get to a few points here. You guys are live with me here, so thank you for that participation. I love that energy, and I could definitely feel that you guys are needing some content. And here's one of the things. So he said, be the best at whatever you are, right? Be the best at whatever you are. Now, what came to mind there in just a few seconds ago is that I have to remind everybody that we are becoming professional network marketers, right? We are becoming professional network marketers. Now, what's amazing about that is the industry of referral marketing. This industry that does over $260 billion a year was created by an African American woman called Madam C.J. Walker. Now, Netflix just recently did a limited series on her life. She is the reason why this industry was created, because it came out of her heart and her mind. She created it, an African American woman, the first successful female business woman to get towards that millionaire status, was an African American woman, because she created referral marketing. For more details on that, read the book Think and Go Rich, A Black Choice. Okay. And they do a little bit of an overview of her, right? And of course, there's other books, right? Now, the other thing he talked about is the mind is the standard of the man. Oh my goodness, what a powerful concept. So, as you think, so are you, right? And that's why books like Think and Grow Rich are so important to start gleaning and pulling in, right? Now, he talked about doors of opportunity. There are several doors of opportunity, especially within what we're doing. So if someone's sharing this content with you, you want to get back with them, because Dr. Martin Luther King talked about, listen, there's going to be new opportunities presented to this new generation that never existed before. And I'm telling you right now, GS Partners has that right here. All right. Especially with Wealth Builders Worldwide. Our leadership within Wealth Builders Worldwide is like none other. And I'm going to show you something that's probably going to knock your socks off towards the tail end. For those who are plugged in, you already know, but for those who are just learning and just plugging into Daniel's Den or hearing about gold standard partners and wealth builders worldwide, I want to tie this in because we have a direct connection to the civil rights movement. We have a direct connection to Dr. Martin Luther King through one of our amazing leaders, and I'll get to that in just a moment. And then he talked about freedom and justice. Right now, that is our focus within GS Partners. That is our focus within Wealth Builds Worldwide, to provide freedom. When you have complete time freedom, when you have location freedom, you can move how you need to move. You don't need to be restricted to a certain area. You don't have to be restricted to some place that's giving you and providing injustice, right? It could be in a lot of different areas. Now, I'm going to pull in this quote from this book, right? The nonviolent resistor seeks to attack the evil system, the evil system, rather than individuals who happen to be caught up in the system. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from this book. Because I know we get a lot of the nice fluffy quotes, and I understand that. I understand that. There's a place for that, right? There's a place for that. There's a place for that. But we always have to be aware. There's evil systems within this world. There's things that are set out to put people at a disadvantage. What are we going to do to that? How are we going to address that, right? So there's things going on, and I'll say it just like this too. Listen, I saw a post from a prominent banking institution, right? And they were providing a quote with Dr. Martin Luther King. And I get it. I understand it. They're celebrating the day. But also, in the same vein, there's a banking system that's honed in and has discrimination like steeped within it. The whole banking system has not been created for our benefit. Read The Richest Man in Babylon to get an idea. Read Fake by Robert Kiyosaki to get a good full idea. Fake by Robert Kiyosaki. Right? Read The Creature from Jekyll Island to get an idea. When the people who create an evil system say that their system would not be in place if people knew about it and if they didn't do it in secret, when the people who create an evil system say that outside of their mouths in speeches and in their mementos and documentaries, time to wake up, right? Time to wake up. That's all I have to say on that. Yeah, you know I was going there tonight, didn't you, Kevin? Didn't you know? Didn't you know I was going to go there, right? You knew I was going there, Kevin Milner. All right, so listen. Now, here's another quote that really, really struck me from this amazing book. He said, I never intend to adjust myself to segregation and discrimination. Dr. Martin Luther King said, I never intend to adjust. He didn't want to adjust to things that were being done wrong. He was saying, hey, we need to change this. And then also one huge thing is that, yes, there were laws on the books that were discriminating, that were wrong, that were moving in the wrong direction. And he plainly said in this book, and also in other quotes, you'll see that he was okay with being arrested, right? If he was fighting against a law that wasn't right, the discrimination that wasn't right, right? Yep, absolutely. Be the best you in your chosen endeavor. Absolutely. That's part of the blueprint. And we're focused. Yeah, Silver Clock knows what I'm talking about. We're focused on freedom and justice for all. Now, how can I say this with conviction? How can I say, because most people say, well, you're just sharing your business, Daniel. That's all you're really doing. You're tying in Dr. Martin Luther King for your own benefit, right? But no, there's a discrimination in place. The banking system has been discriminating against different ethnic groups for years, right? The real estate industry has done their part, because once again, it's just systems. A job system also has been discriminating against certain people for a certain time, right? If you are a convicted felon, right, it's harder for you to find what? Employment and work. Why is that, right? Because that's how that system is set up. And listen, one huge thing that he says in this book is that you have to be harnessed and focused in, or have a foundation of agape love, so that you can face the evil of the system without trying to pull at the person who's participating in the system in a negative way, right? You're going up against the system, an evil system, rather than the actual individual. So we understand that people are participating in the system and maybe non-aware, right? Maybe non-aware or not fully engaged in saying, okay, this is wrong. So I gave my son a conversation earlier today, and we were just revisiting a conversation that all African American families and fathers have to have with their sons. And people who are not within this ethnic group don't know that conversation. They don't know that conversation because they are unaware or not facing an evil system. Now, another conversation I had with my son is that even getting a property, having credit, building credit, doing all those things, that's a system in place, right? Within GS Partners, we're getting real estate, commercial real estate in Dubai by the click of a button. No credit checks, no background checks. No, you have to have this amount of money to qualify to get into here, because that's another thing. Being an accredited investor, right? You have to work your way up to that, right? You have to earn that in that system. But you come over here to GS Partners and Wealth Builders Worldwide, and you can acquire real estate in Dubai. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter if you were a convicted felon, if you served your time, or if you're in the middle of your time. That stuff doesn't exist here, because guess what? The blockchain is not an evil system. The blockchain is a transparent and open system that doesn't restrict people. It gives people the freedom to do what they want to do and move their money how they want to move it, right? So you're thinking we're sharing this business with you to lace our wallets and lace our pockets. I understand that. Yes, in all business, there's going to be profit, right? You're watching me on YouTube. You're watching me on Twitter. You're watching me on Facebook. Those are all platforms that are creating profit by you participating in a free system that's using your content and information and sharing it and helping connect with other businesses, right? So all businesses do seek to create profits. But what are we doing here that's unique? What are we doing here that slides us away from the discrimination and segregation? Is that the blockchain is an open ledger. And everything we're doing in this system is acquiring assets. So notice, I'm telling you, and we're encouraging you to get your free registration. You can get a $33 membership, which I believe is simple and easy. And I believe it's a joke, because we spend $33 so easily, right? We really do. And it's on wasteful stuff. And it's on wasteful stuff. But here you can tap into a $33 membership, and then the company turns around, and every time you get your $33 membership, they gift you a $28 NFT asset. That's another big thing. NFTs are another part that eliminates discrimination, because guess what? Artists were creating things, right? And they had to go through certain industries that were discriminating against them, telling them and setting what they could create and what they could make. Now, with this blockchain technology and with this NFT technology, now the artist is empowered and not discriminated against, so that they could submit whatever they want to submit and create freely with the peace of mind that they're going to get paid what they deserve and what they've already set in place. They can set up their residual income how they want to set it up. They can set up their margins how they want to set it up. We can never adjust to segregation and discrimination. So within Gold Standard Partners and within Wealth Builders Worldwide, we're shifting. We're shifting, right? We're shifting. Absolutely. So Mr. Milliner said, GS Partners, level playing field, right? We definitely have a level playing field. The blockchain, the technology that we're using, we are a technology company that has fused referral marketing. Like I mentioned before, Madam C.J. Walker, an African-American woman, created this industry, one of the most misunderstood industries that still does more money every year than music industry, more than the NFL, more than the NBA. If you like all those, if you combine all of them, network marketing still does more business than all of those great industries combined. The industry that you say is a Ponzi scheme, the industry that you say is illegal, the industry that you say because you're unaware and uneducated, that industry was created by an African American woman. And it empowered people to create more income for themselves and for their family. Women were creating more income for themselves. She became the first female millionaire. All right, so we build and acquire assets. I love that. Without restrictions. I love that, Miss Sylvia Clark. That's absolutely true, right? So here, let me tie this all in, right? Because we have almost a resident celebrity, right? We have a resident celebrity. I have to say the original celebrities, right? So we heard from Dr. Martin Luther King. I went over some very, very key points that I feel are very, very important. And I'm going to go ahead and just close it out. Let me go ahead and I'll slide this out the way for everybody. Listen, I'm amped up right now. I'm amped up. All right, this is a picture of me and our amazing business partner, Brother Eric Teray Muhammad, right? Now, Brother Eric Teray Muhammad, like I said, we have a direct connection to the civil rights movement and the history of the civil rights movement through this amazing individual, Mr. Eric Teray Muhammad, who will be live tomorrow at 8 a.m. for classes in session. He does a class in session Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. where he just continues to pour into us, right? Now, you notice above the picture, you see Dr. Martin Luther King. Then also you see his father, okay? Eric's father is standing right next to Dr. Martin Luther King. That's not just a one-off picture. There's several other pictures. They were working together to help move forward this amazing movement, all right? The civil rights movement. So Google Stokely Carmichael, all right? Google Stokely Carmichael, right? Thank you. 2020 is in trouble. I see you, brother Eric, brother Milliner. I see you. Oh man. So Google Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, right? And read up on the history, right? Because of course, one disadvantage is that we limit African American history to 1 month out the year, right? Also Latin American history, also Native American history, right? All those histories, that's part of American history. Why is it limited to 1 month? I'm not going to get on my soapbox for that. All right. But we have a direct connection to the civil rights movement. Now, why would someone of this caliber be drawn to what we're doing? Because he wants to fight against discrimination, freedom, financial freedom, justice. Those things appeal to people who have a heart for other people and want to support the goals and dreams of other people, right? So everybody, thank you for hanging out tonight, this afternoon. I know that there were some things I said that kind of sparked someone's interest. Share this out. If you're not already on my YouTube page, it's D Higgins 2830. So definitely find me there. We will be live again. We're live every night except for Monday and Wednesday night, right? Technology permitting, right? So get back with the person sharing this content with you. It's been scrolling at the bottom to get back with that person as quickly as possible, because there's so many things that we don't know, right? And those things that we don't know are holding us back. So, just like he said, Dr. Martin Luther King said, there's doors of opportunities. If I told you right now that you're losing money every day because you don't have a home based business, you might be like, this guy's losing it. But if you go on the IRS website and you go to irs.gov or irs.com or whatever it is, yes, irs.gov, and you look at all the tax deductions, that's another way that this system has been, the wool has been pulled over our eyes. Okay. We're paying more in taxes than we need to. So get back with your tax professional, but go ahead, get your free registration completed, get your $33 membership, start being in business for yourself, and start tapping into all this great content that we have. Wealth Builders Worldwide will be here to support you, and those doors of opportunity are here for you. They are wide open for you. Okay. There's no restrictions, there's no slowing down, there's no holding back. So here it is. This is our support card. You are going to be in business for yourself, but never by yourself. Never. We have live events every single day. We have live events for you to connect and hear from other real people every single day. If you knew the success stories that were represented by these amazing faces, you would have joined already. All right? You would have joined already. That's all I have to say about that. So, guys, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, everybody on the sound of my voice, get back with the person sharing this content with you so that you can start your success journey, so that you can start ironing out the blueprint, just like how Dr. Martin Luther King said, the blueprint for your life. All right. Get back with that person right away, get that free registration completed, and boom, you can move towards your financial freedom and your personal goals and dreams. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you on the next live stream.